Welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. This is the show that gives you everything you need to know before the big game kicks off. Today we're back at Pride Park Stadium, Derby County playing their first home game in 3 weeks and taking on Hull City. It's been a busy week for the Rams so far. Picked up points in last Saturday's Europe Millwall and Tuesday night's tie with Oxford United. Nathaniel Mendez-Laing getting his first goal of the season in that one. It's a better week than Hull have enjoyed so far. They held Burnley on Wednesday night but lost at home to Sunderland last weekend. It leaves the Tigers a point behind the Rams in the table. Our old friend Liam Rosenior was in charge last season as Hull finished just 3 points off the Championship playoffs. He was sacked anyway, with Tim Walter taking over, the German coach, in his first job outside of his homeland. Been a steady start, probably worth pointing out that Hull have picked up more points on the road than they have at home. They've not often enjoyed their trips to Pride Park though. Derby on a 4-match winning streak at home against Hull. Craig Forsyth scored at both ends in the last encounter. A 3-1 win for Derby back in February 2022. In fact, Derby have won 6 of the past 7 and 7 of the past 9 against Hull, going back to 2016. That was the season that Hull won promotion to the Premier League via the playoffs, beating Derby in the semi-finals en route. Well, let's hear from Derby head coach Paul Warne, who travelled to Humberside on Wednesday night to see today's opponents in person.
Seen them live 3 times now because their fixtures have always fallen quite nice. I always try and watch an opposition. So I watched Sheffield United play there, watched Bristol City play there, and then watched Burnley play there last night. My opinion hasn't changed. I think they'll be top 6. They didn't have the best start, but wow, they've got some energy in their team and they're brave how they play out. But they play like a 4-1-5 and have 5 across the top line and go for it really. So it's going to take a lot of energy from our team, and our standards are going to have to be upped from the other night to compete with them. They've won 2 away games, drawn 2 and lost 1, I think. I might have got that wrong, but that's what I think it is. But so they're a formidable force. I spent 20 odd mil in the summer, so it's going to be a really good, tough game for us, but a good game. So
many resources now, so much tape to watch. Do you still see the value in seeing teams live whenever you can?
Yeah, I prefer live. I think I'm really old school, but watching a the download or however you say it now, you can clip it, you can use it, you can see patterns, you need it to show the lads obviously. But actually going to the game itself is good. Like me and Rich go to a lot, and Hammy and Andy do as well. But you sometimes hear things, see things differently, hear crowd reactions to players. You sort of see little nuances a bit more. And obviously, I know you can on the footage that we get, it's a wide angle, but when you're actually there and you see how they're attacking this goal, but you look at how they set up on the halfway line, you can just tilt your head a bit. So I prefer it, I do. And in fairness, I'm a football fan, so there's something quite exciting about walking into a stadium and watching a game. So yeah, if I can, and it's the same when we sign players, I always like to try and get a live view on them as well.
But obviously you can't go to every game you want to or see everything you can, so you have to put a lot of trust in your analysts. Tell me about your analysts, because they might be, in my opinion, maybe the friendliest 3 in the building.
Are they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, they're great kids. One can even fly a drone, which is always impressive. The footage off that is a joke. So they film training every day, and we watch that back every day. They do loads of work. If I actually brought in how the week, you better to ask Rich really, this is Richie's baby, but how the week starts and how much information, then it gets chopped down, and they watch 3 or 4 games, and we break it into, like today will be out of possession, and then tomorrow's in possession, and then we break down all their set pieces and all their not formations, but different parts of the pitch, how they play out from the back, how they play their goal kicks, how they do their throw-ins, so everything. But then they also go through all the stats of all the players, all their heat maps. Like they're literally, I'd be better instead of me talking about it, is to put it on an online link, and you can see the information that we have on the opposition. But all that aside, and that's why coaches get irritated, possibly, that you put all that work in prior to a game, and then not through choice, the team underperform, you're like, wow, we've done all that work for this 90 minutes and it's come to nothing. And that's why, defeat's so hard to take. But all three of them in there are great. And like this morning before I came in here, we'd already clipped Tuesday night's game. Then Andrew, one of the analysts, comes into my office with me and Hammy, and then we go, right, we're going to show the players that. I'm not going to show the squad that. I'm going to show the individual player that. That's an individual meeting. That's an individual meeting. That's a team meeting. Need that in. That's a good one. So I need a good clip in because I'm showing a few lively ones. So we go through that. So once I've done this press, I go back in there, double check everything's right, make sure I'm happy with all the part of the meeting I'm showing them, and then we do it. And then we show them the next game straight after. Mayhem.
You gave us the unfortunate update on Ryan Ambit on Tuesday, and I know everyone will rally around him. How's everyone else doing, rest of the squad?
Marcus Harness is a little bit sore, but I don't think anyone else. There's no injury updates from Tuesday night at all, so I should have a full pick, which is good. And, I've got people just outside the squad that, not that I forget about, but like Connor, Tomo, so they're itching to get back in as well. So, hopefully they'll get an opportunity soon.
There's Paul Warne, and another injury blow for him as well coming into today. David Ozo is going to miss another 4 or 5 weeks with a fresh injury. Well, Paul Warne's opposite number has some injury concerns of his own. Liam Miller, notably, limped off on Wednesday night against Burnley. Not that Tim Volter wants to talk about it.
No, I'm happy. That's the reason why we have a big squad. But unfortunately, we have the injuries, especially from our goalkeeper side, a bit early from the start. So it was before the season started. And now it's a situation nobody could imagine before, because Liam was without a touch from out the contact from the opposite, and the same with Carl Rushworth. It's really unhappy, and a muscle tendency from Stephen Alsati or from Marvin Melim. Yeah, that could be, but the rest it's all fine. So I'm happy to have a lot of players in the squad, and especially more quality in the squad.
In terms of looking ahead to the weekend, it was a good point yesterday because they're a good side, Premier League team last year. They'll be pushing for promotion. But was there a frustration as well because you did enough to win the game, maybe deserve to win the game?
Yeah, I agree. That's the reason why my lads are really frustrated about. But that's a good sign, because if you are happy with the point, you are not. Maybe that's not enough to win games, and they have to will to win, and they learned it, and that's a good sign for us that we have those mentalities that we can win games. Especially for the next games.
That's Hull boss Tim Volter. The action in the Championship got underway last night. Do take a look at Michael Smith's winner for Sheffield Wednesday at Portsmouth. Absolute stunner. 3 early matches today, including Leeds' trip to Bristol City. Elsewhere at 3, leaders Sunderland host Oxford. Well, Sunderland have a 3-point lead from Burnley and Leeds at the top of the table. Sheffield Wednesday moved into the top half with their victory last night. That pushed Derby out of the top half, though the Rams can return to it today with a result. Derby start the day 5 points clear of the bottom 3, with Portsmouth bottom of the pile. The Derby come into today's game against Hull. 3 games unbeaten after the draws at Millwall and Oxford in the week. Defender Kane Wilson says plenty to build on.
I think it's obviously good to get points on the board. I think the Millwall game was obviously, it's going to be a tough place to go. It's notorious for being quite hostile and hard to get points there. I think Oxford game, we were disappointed with the first half. I think everyone knows that we could have played better. But second half, we showed courage to come out and get a goal. Nat's finish was really good, and So I think in hindsight, you probably take 2 draws from tough places to go.
Were you particularly pleased for Nat? Because I know you pair have a great relationship, don't you?
Yeah, I was happy for him. Yeah, he obviously everyone knows how good Nat is. So to get his first goal of the season, even though he's obviously been contributing with assists, I know it was important to him to start off with goals.
You say you know it was important to him. Do you talk about things like that in the room, or do you just get a sense that he might be a bit frustrated?
Yeah, we talk. Before the Millwall game, the gaffer showed us a video of just all the how good we've been so far this season, and just kind of really confidence boost. And Jerry and Nat were both bantering because obviously all the goals are on there, and then Jerry and Nat was like, "You haven't shown my goals," but obviously, so it was quite funny. We were bantering about it. So then literally. After that, they've both scored, so now they've got goals for the next video.
I wanted to ask you about injuries. Another part of the game. You're in the team to start the season. You get hurt, Ryan comes in, and then at Millwall, Ryan gets hurt, door opens for you again. But obviously, not the circumstances you want to get back into the side.
That's right, it's horrible really, because me and Ryan are so close that obviously that's football. Everyone knows that if someone gets injured, you're going to get an opportunity. But like in the circumstances, maybe like Ryan coming, I was going to be back in 2-3 weeks, so it's a fair crack. Ryan gets his chance, and it's my turn to take it back off him. But there's no nice way of putting us like 4 to 6 months injury. Like I'm devastated for Ryan. Like he's amazing. He really is amazing. Like defensively, he's scary. So I've got to now try and do my best Ryan Nyambe impression, as does Joe Ward. So I'll be trying to impersonate him as much as I can, aggressive in the tackle. But no, honestly, my heart goes to him, and I hope it's a speedy one, and we'll be there with him anyway. So we'll be encouraging him and keeping his spirits high.
I wanted to ask about that actually. How do you respond as a group when a player gets a serious injury like that?
I think it's important to give him something good to come back to. Like now, I think especially in terms of as a team, like we wanted to, like you don't want Ryan to come back to any kind of, like you want him to come back to a positive environment. You want him to come back hopefully whenever time it is, February time-ish. We're fighting for something good. Do you know what I mean? And you'll give him that kind of motivation to think, right, I can get back. And we know how important Ryan is. He plays all the time, so he's a crucial part of the squad. So if we fight for something around that time, I know he'll be eager, and it'll give him maybe that little bit of extra motivation to get back fit.
You're back at Pride Park on Saturday. How do you maintain this great record you've had at home?
We use the fans. I think it's a massive part of us. Like they've from since I've been here, only ever positive. It's a fortress. Like when you have that many people screaming, you can run that extra yard. Sorry, mile's a bit bigger than a yard. But yeah, you can run that extra yard, and it just gives you that kind of motivation to want to do well for them and want to put points on the board.
That's Kane Wilson, and this has been the build-up. We've got Derby County against Hull City for you, live from Pride Park on RamsTV this afternoon. It's available to watch worldwide outside the UK, so get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. Goodbye.